Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another metaphor video. Today I'm going to show you how to fight the dragon god in Heroes Rest. This is a very late game quest, one of the last late game quests, and if you're not prepared like me, you're gonna have a really hard time because this boss has a move that does 9999 damage to all party members, and it'll basically one-shot the whole party unless you either prevent it or reflect it. Now, who is this video for? This is a video for those people who went on this quest without any knowledge of what to expect and were not prepared thoroughly for this. So this is the video for you. For those who know how to fight this dragon, yes, there are ways to cheese it. You know, you can have reflect gear, you could reflect his fire damage back to himself and all that stuff. But I was not prepared for this. But I still managed to defeat him, so this is how you do it. So let's get started. For my party, I'm going to be using myself, of course. I'm going to be using Hulkenberg, Heisme, and Juna. So let's start with our setup. For first, you're gonna need 3 warriors. You don't need to have the ultimate versions, you know. Just have a warrior equipped. I believe the basic warrior also gets Peerless Stone Cleaver, which is what our strategy is. So we're going to be using 3 warriors on myself, Hulkenberg, and Heisme. The reason, and as you can see, Heisme's warrior is rank 1, so it doesn't really matter. You're not going to need you know, high leveled. Now the reason why we need a warrior is because they resist fire damage, which is really important. In case of Hulkenberg, she resists fire as well as slash, which is most of the dragon's attack. I think she has a gear that reflects resist slash. And for myself as well, you have resisting fire and resisting slash. The reason we also need the warrior is to have the synthesis skill, Peerless Stone Cleaver, which is what we will be using. Also, for one, we're going to be using the Warple Blade 2 to like basically reduce the boss's attack, which will result in him wasting at least one of his turn buffing himself back. So this is also a really good sort of turn waster for the boss. So let's get started with the warrior. We're gonna use for our passive skills. Actually, you don't really need too much when it comes to skills because this is all you'll be using, or in the case of your main character or at least one of your fighters, you'll be using Warple Blade to decrease the attack. But for set skills, you can use Fire Dodge. Then I have Heat Up, which increases physical attack by 10%. Now because we have 3 warriors, this is basically 30%. And then we have Diligent Discipline, sorry, my bad, which increases critical rate by 5%. Now it will be boosted by 10% more, so total 15% because we have 3 warriors. And then we have Rebellion, that just as added measure in case you get extra turns to spare. You can use it on yourself to get even more critical rate. Let's go with Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg setup is the same thing. I didn't have Fire Dodge on her, unfortunately, so I just put Slash Boost, then Heat Up, Diligent Discipline, and then Rebellion. Heisme doesn't really matter too much. However, I would recommend actually giving Heisme Formation of Vigor because he has such a high agility. He's almost always going to go first, and this is what I'll use the first thing. Now, as for the other requirements, you need Dekunda on at least 2 of your characters. Having it on Heisme helps a lot because he goes first, so he can debuff he can negate the debuffs on your party. And then Petra, just in case, because the boss does have a charm move, and then Fire Dodge. Let's go with Juna. You need the Trickster archetype, either the Faker or the Trickster. Not the Mask Dancer with the Faker mask. You need the actual Faker lineage. Why? Because we're going to be using Faker's Roguery ability, which gives us extra turn icons. If it's not for this, you're going to be relying on Galaga to give you the extra turn. which may or may not happen. It's a random chance that it happens, so you don't want to depend on her to give you extra turns. So we're going to be using Faker's Roguery. Then she also has the Vidyartha move, which decreases the defense, which will help us really like in their first turn. Nothing else really matters. You just need to use this ability, Faker's Roguery, to get extra turns. Now, this is absolutely important. You need Dikaja on the Faker, or at least one of your characters, because the boss will almost always buff his attacks to the max. So you need Dikaja to debuff him and also make him waste one turn. Then as always, Dikunda for removing debuff and one heal move for your party members. Makrakern, I don't think you're going to be needing this with this strategy, but you don't really need to have it. All right, for the equipment. Now, because as I said, I was not prepared for this fight, I will show you how to fight this by subpar gear. So first things first, Utilitarian's Manual. This is an accessory that you buy from Altaberry Heights. If you have more than one, great, put this on your two main attackers. In my case, it's the main character and Hulkenberg. This reduces the turn icon cost of synthesis skill. Peerless Stone Cleaver costs 3 turn icons. With this, it'll cost 2. So this is great. If you have more than one, great. If you don't, like me, it's still doable, and I'll show you how. As for the armor and weapons, choose the best ones. For Hulkenberg, also choose the best ones. I have a Herald's Banner here, while in the front row increases attack. So, as I said, I didn't have too much. Now for Heisme, you can again do whatever. I did put a Venom Word charm on Heisme to prevent him from getting burned. So less people getting burned is more availability of your synthesis skills. So it's nice. Or you could also put something that prevents charm, which is more dangerous, to be honest. For Juna, I have the Inferno Rock Curious, which resists fire damage, really important. As for Heisme as well, I think I have Inferno Rock Curious that also resists fire damage. So almost everybody will resist fire here in my party. For Juna, I also recommend the Narcissus Brooch, which prevents charm. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully we'll kill the boss before his charm move. The boss does his ultimate attack right after he does, in the next turn. Once he does his charm move, he'll do the ultimate attack in his next move. So it's a lose-lose situation. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. All right. That being said, I'm going to do a jump cut and we will get to the fight. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to narrate the fight as best as I can and try to tell you what I do. So Heisme will go first. So we'll use Formation of Vigor, the first thing. This will up our attacks. Now, here's the thing. We can use Peerless Stone Cleaver right now. But I'm going to actually pass this turn and debuff his defense and attack. This will accomplish two things. We're gonna not only debuff his defense but also his attack, which will make him waste two turns on his 2 icons on his turn to buff himself back. So we're gonna use this, and this will also help us with our damage. All right, Hulkenberg, Peerless Stone Cleaver. This will do about 6,000 damage. Whoa, we got a crit. Okay, all right. Okay, okay, so we did a crit. Now, if this happens, great. If this doesn't happen, you could restart the battle. This is also a cheesy strat. You could do this over and over. You could retry the battle until you get a crit. If you don't, it's still doable. Anyway, let's do another Formation of Vigor to buff our attacks even further, because, why not? All right, now. We can't do Peerless Stone Cleaver at the moment, so I'll just do a Warple Blade to reduce his attack even further.
Get after it, love. Nice hit.
Another crit. Well, it doesn't matter. It's only 2000 damage. So he's going to waste 2 turns buffing himself, and then he's going to waste 1 turn debuffing our party, and then 1 attack. Let's see what the attack is. So that's our debuff. And that's a tail attack. Okay, cool. No big deal. Now,
be careful out there, okay?
let's do Faker's Roguery. Hopefully I can kill him in this turn.
Going for the weak spot.
Gain 2 turn icons. Not bad. Let's do Peerless Stonecleaver again. 7,000. Not a bad one. Okay, we're not going to do Peerless Stonecleaver because it is, well, it costs 3 turns icons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use a Dekunda because we are debuffed like crazy.
This should suffice.
Thanks. Thank you.
It's okay.
And now we can do Peerless Stonecleaver again.
Strike.
And there it is. There we go. So basically what I would say is you can retry the battle if you don't get a crit in the first turn. It really helps. You're not losing too much by retrying. You know, it's definitely worth it because the more turns you spend, the bigger his chances are for him to use his charm move. And I believe when you get to his 50% of his HP, he will automatically do that charm move and ultimate attack the next turn. So it's just better to just fish for a crit early on and make this fight a lot easier. So that being said, thank you so much for watching. I do hope this video helped out, and I will see you in the next time. Feel free to leave a comment, you know, if you have a different strat. And yes, I know there are other strats out there that involve just reflecting his damage back to him, but again, as I said, I was not prepared for this fight. This took me by surprise, so I'm just glad I got this out of the way without much preparation. Anyway, see you guys. Hope you have fun. Bye.